Refusing to financially support my baby mama. I, 54M, am married to Liv, 46F. We have a daughter, 6, and have been together for 12 years. Liv is my second wife. I married my first wife, Anna, 57F, when I was 21. Anna is French, and we met when I was in France for a holiday. We have 2 children, Sophia, 30F, and Matteo, 27M. Anna and I were married for 8 years and had an amicable divorce, and I am on good terms with both of my children and Anna, and I see them often. I then moved to the US, where I met Abby, 48F. We were together for 5 years, not married, with 2 children, Jake, 20M, and Leah, 16F. I cheated on Abby with Harper, 35F, and had a daughter, Maddie, 15F. Harper and I stayed together for 2 years, but we eventually amicably split up. I moved back to Europe, so I bought them a house as well as providing financial support. I see Maddie in person twice a year and we talk every day. My split with Abby was messy. Abby told me she didn't want me in our children's lives, and I didn't fight her very hard on it. I keep in touch with both of them, and Abby and I came to an agreement where I don't pay child support, but I instead pay for school. I agreed. I also give them both a generous allowance and expensive gifts for B-days and Christmas. I'm aware it's a poor substitute for a father. After we split, Abby married Cole, 51M, and had Ryan, 12M. From what I've heard from my kids, Ryan is the golden child of the house. They aren't mistreated by any means, and from what I can tell, they like their stepfather well enough, but if there is an argument between Ryan and either one of my kids, Abby and Cole will take Ryan's side. Abby's always been a reckless spender. Now Abby and Cole are struggling financially, and she has asked my kids to chip in. I have more than enough money, so I had no problem upping Jake and Leah's allowances so they can help their family and keep some for themselves. Abby called me up out of the blue a few weeks ago, and this is where I might be the a-hole. She fought with Jake when he refused to use his allowance to help pay their mortgage. I told her that since Jake is no longer living with her, he has no obligation to pay for her house. She then demanded that I give Ryan an allowance as well as Jake and Leah. She told me that I wasn't allowed to financially support Jake and Leah without also including Ryan because he was feeling left out. I told her to F off and that I'm not going to stop supporting my kids just because she can't support her own. I told her that I'll still pay Leah's tuition, but I'm stopping her allowance so Abby doesn't get any money. Both of Abby's parents called me to say I'm an a for not stepping up and helping my kids, and Cole also called to scream at me. I had to block their numbers. My family reassured me that I'm not the a-hole, but I'm not sure because I feel guilty that Leah's the one who suffers. Comment 1. ESH. Whoa. There is too much going on here for me to be able to make a good judgment on the actual situation at hand. YTA for the amount of kids you had, and for cheating on your wife. ESH for the situation. Abby sounds unreliable and greedy, and you caused the problem in the first place when you had 6 different children with 4 different women. Comment 2. Not giving your ex-wife's son with her more recent husband an allowance, NTA. Cutting off your daughter because her mother's spending habits are irresponsible, YTA. You could figure out a way to give her an allowance without her mother being involved, but she would have to either keep her spending unobservable or run the risk of her mother insisting she spend what you give your daughter on the household. Alternatively, you could pay for whatever Leah needs/wants, as long it's within the amount you would normally provide for her allowance. Short of Leah moving in with you, that's all I've got. Comment 3. Yeah, you should have limited it to Abby and her situation. You need to figure out a way to pay for your kids. Don't even think about giving anything to Ryan. He's not your responsibility. If you are sending anything to Abby, that should stop since she remarried. Your daughter, however, you need to support. Perhaps she would like living her last 2 years with her dad. Perhaps send your daughter a weekly amount that wouldn't be enough to contribute to their mortgage because you are not responsible for that. Refusing to make my green bean casserole for a Christmas party? We're all 35 plus. For almost 15 years now, my friends have holiday parties where we each bring a dish. Mine has always been a green bean casserole. It's nothing fancy, just a random recipe I found online. A few years ago, Amy joined our group. There have been zero issues with Amy until parties. My casserole was overhyped, and after tasting it, Amy said she could do better. I gladly passed casserole duty to her. It didn't hit the same, and it was gently suggested to get passed back to me. Amy took this personal. For years, she texted me after parties about how offended she is that I keep making the dish to spite her, and how bad it tastes. She's even accidentally brought her own green bean casserole several times. This Thanksgiving, Amy snapped over someone complimenting my casserole. She screamed at everyone for pandering to me, how I'm out to get her, and for everyone hating her family since her recipe has been passed down for generations. Then she stormed out. We all talked afterwards, and I explained this had been going on for years, even showing her texts. Everyone said it was out of character for Amy, and wondered if something else is going on. As far as I'm aware, it's only the casserole. We get along 100% otherwise. I took Amy, her husband, and my husband out for coffee to talk, and was told it was all a misunderstanding. Amy has been struggling with depression, so it was within her rights to act how she did. I asked how I could help, but Amy said questions like those were what her therapist warned her of me attempting to manipulate her. We agreed to end our talk there since we were getting heated in public, and hadn't talked since. When the group chat began planning Christmas dishes, Amy went out of her way to say I should make the casserole since I accused her of hating it, and she wouldn't want everyone to feel more uncomfortable than I'm making a misunderstanding out to be. When I tried to speak up, everyone said I shouldn't take things so seriously, and to sympathize with Amy going through a rough patch. To me, Amy has made it well aware that something to do with myself or the casserole is causing her so much turmoil over the years. She simply won't talk to me about it, just claims I never listen to her. I have no plans to make the casserole, but now I don't want to go to the Christmas party. My husband thinks it's unfair for me to do to everyone, and that I shouldn't exclude myself from a fun time. I told him there's no hard feelings of him going on his own, but he says I'm missing the point. He says such a minor thing shouldn't affect years of good moments with Amy and our friends. I fully understand how depression affects people, but it's hard for me to accept as a get-out-free card. I'm very confused, and failing to see why this shouldn't be taken seriously. Comment 1, bro what? Amy having a depression doesn't give her the right to do anything. And people asking how they can help isn't a form of manipulation, her therapist would never say that. Asking how you can help is the most common way to address it, when a friend open up about their depression. Your husband is right on the point about how you shouldn't exclude yourself from a fun time though, but it's not unfair to anyone that you don't join. Comment 2. I think her therapist is giving advice on the screwed version Amy is describing in sessions, so I would take that with a pinch of salt. However, still go. Maybe bring a new dish that people will enjoy. This is a one-sided war in Amy's head, and when nobody eats her casserole then she'll realize sooner or later that lack of competition still doesn't make her the best. Comment 3. From the very beginning, Amy has been behaving so badly I wonder that she's still in your friend group. What normal adult person attends a Christmas party, tastes a casserole, curls her lip, and says I could do better? And it's only gotten worse from there. She's treated you abysmally. I think you can make or not make whatever dish you choose. The bigger question is why you're maintaining a relationship with someone who chronically treats you terribly. NTA. Making it very clear to my dad that I am not asking mom to spend money on his household. My parents divorced when I, 17M, was 2. Things are not that friendly between them. I'm not sure of the why, just that they prefer to stay apart, and I have always been okay with that. It's my normal and I never expected them to act all friendly with each other. My dad is remarried and has a big blended family at his house. His wife brought 3 kids into the marriage, Dad brought me, they had 3 more kids together, they took in his wife's 2 nieces as well. I'm not really close to my dad, so I'm not really close to any of his other kids. I spend only one weekend a month with him now, which was my choice and the court supported when I was 14. One thing that probably doesn't need to be explained in a lot of detail but I will mention is they don't really have a lot, my dad's household. Neither he or his wife have great jobs, no child support is paid and things are always tight there. When I was younger and was there every other week it was pretty crappy. Everyone is crammed into the 3 bedrooms they have. Meals were always kinda crappy and not exactly filling most of the time. Christmas and birthdays were very modest as well. My mom never remarried and focused on providing for stability. I never went without with her and she always did her best to provide me with nice things, both stuff I needed and stuff I wanted. My quality of life was better with her and I was happier with her. It helped that my mom showed me that she cared and that I was a priority. I never really felt that way about my dad, but especially when he remarried and his finances took a bigger hit, it always felt like he was bitter and resentful that I was so much better provided for at mom's. The other kids at dad's house were aware that I had it way better with my mom. They resent me for it. Some of them hate me and think I should have been forced to not see my mom so we'd all have the same. This year dad told me that I should have more of an understanding and compassion for all my siblings and I should talk to mom about helping me pay for gifts for them. He said I might not be able to afford much but mom should be making sure the other kids get something nice from me and showing me how to be a good older brother to all of them. He also mentioned household gifts to make life a little easier. He told me to ask. I made it clear to him that I will not asking mom to spend money on his household. Dad's response was I am totally old enough to put more care into my family and want to see them all have a better Christmas. Comment 1. NTA. He has no right to ask that of you. No matter your age, you will always be his child, not his provider. That is just sick, and it might be time to put a little more distance between you. You're getting old enough where you can visit for the day with your dad, then head home. The tension is going to get worse with everyone. You don't need that. This is not your fault, not your problem to solve. Your only job is a relationship with your dad until he makes that impossible. Good luck. Comment 2. NTA Dad's response was I am totally old enough to put more care into my family and want to see them all have a better Christmas. Yeah, be prepared for your father to start hitting you up every payday when you are an adult with a job. Because I'm sure he's gonna need money to send all them kids to college. You're still a minor, so you should tell your mother your father is hounding you over this so she can put him in his place. Comment 3. NTA Your stepmother should be getting child support for her 3 kids and both her nieces. If they need more money, that is where it should be coming from. If things were tight, they should not have gone on to have 3 more children. None of this is you or your mother's responsibility. Not letting my husband eat the food I cooked? My husband has food insecurity and overeats even when he's not hungry, out of fear of it all being eaten before he gets to taste it. Every item of snacks/soda in this house that is bought is gone within a few days because he binges until it's gone. And he has in the past told the kids they couldn't have more dinner because there wasn't enough, just so he could eat it later. I was at work for that one. I did make him get therapy, but it's not doing much good because he doesn't apply himself at all, thinks it's pointless and refuses to do the steps they provide. Today I bought stuff for lasagna and bought myself a big salad because I can't eat red sauce. Within an hour of being home he was already in the fridge asking if he could have my salad because he was starving. I said no originally, but he kept prying and said, "Come on, please. I will share it with you." I said, "What the F ever," and walked off. He left me 3 bites. I tossed it in the trash. This was not even 10 minutes before I started cooking. He said multiple times, "I'm so full," or "Now my belly hurts," or "I ate too much." Which is common for him. But I was still salty about it, honestly. So, I only made half a sheet pan of the lasagna, which would only feed the kids. Husband said he was so full anyways. I give the kids their food 20 minutes later. I prep so cooking takes 0 time at all. I tell them they can finish the pan off. Well, My husband comes out and sees the lasagna and says, "Ooh, that's what I'm talking about." I said, "Absolutely not. You just ate my dinner and you were full 30 minutes ago. This is the kids' food." I didn't say this in front of the kids. He says I'm a royal witch because he needs the lasagna and it's going to send him backwards because now I'm withholding food from him. Comment 1. NTA, this was your party, so to speak, and you should be able to celebrate it with you want to. Your dad ignored your wishes and contradicted your request in front of your BF, so he's the R for putting you in that position to start with. I'm sorry your family is so critical of you. In this case, it's like your dad set you up to fail even. He should have supported you in this and let it go from the start. Comment 2. Your father created the situation to make you appear and feel bad. He asked who you wanted to invite. You told him. He then suggested the brother to you, you said no. You had already told him who you wanted, then reiterated no to the brother. Instead of accepting what you wanted for your graduation dinner, he brought it up again in front of your boyfriend and you for the third time said no. Your boyfriend was not upset by your decision. Then your father then proceeded to chastise you on his behalf. Your family, dad at least, appear to create situations to purposely paint you into a corner as the bad guy. Comment 3. NTA. This was a special evening for you, and it should be up to you who you share that with. Not including the brother does not mean you do not like him, it's just that you don't have that kind of relationship with him. Sure, efforts can be made to change that if you want, but I don't think this was the right setting to start that.